Villa of Hope is here to help. Our Monroe County Department of Public Health is working diligently to reduce the chances of spreading the COVID-19 virus, and it's important we all follow those recommendations. That does not mean you cannot reach out for help. The Villa is here. We have people ready to take your call and get you the help you need. Whether you need general counseling, family support, MAT, or a compassionate ear, we are here. Call 1-833-993-HOPE.
Welcome back to the Villa of Hope radio show here on the WYSL stations. This is J.C. DeLass. I've got Christina Gullo, who's the president and CEO of Villa of Hope, on the line with us, along with Gerianne Puskas, who is the chief advancement officer also for Villa of Hope. And this is a segment, Gerianne in particular, I want to talk to you about this because this really is in your wheelhouse. We need to know, where does the money come from? Because, again, the things we've talked about in those first two segments, unfortunately, it's not free. I mean, you have to pay for it in some way, and that's where really you come in to find that money that helps Villa of Hope operate.
Yes. So a lot of our money, a portion of it comes from New York State. It comes through Medicaid, but a lot of that is based on our expenses from a few years ago. And I think a lot of us, when we look at our paycheck, we agree that trying to pay today's bills on a paycheck from 2 years ago is not going to really cut it. So what we do is we try to make up that difference with fundraising. When we try to create new programs or to grow our programs, all of that requires fundraising and support from foundations in our community.
And those are difficult things to do in this climate because we've talked about it. Everybody's running an event or a fundraiser, and I know for you, Gerianne, you got to find a way to kind of differentiate yourself with that.
Exactly, and I think it goes beyond who has the best theme for their gala or the most unique event. That stuff is important, but I think the biggest piece of it is what is the heart of our organization? Why are we here? What are we doing? And we connect with people that way. I think it's so important for our community to understand the Villa's story and to understand who we're working with and why we work with our community in the way that we do. That's what sets us apart. It's not that our theme was the color purple or anything like that. It really has to do with the heart of our organization and connecting with people.
And we should emphasize, too, that Villa of Hope does not charge tuition, so everything that you've heard about here in our program in terms of the services provided to students and residents, again, that's all, in essence, free of charge to those folks, right, Christina? And again, that's where Gerianne and the other folks that are out there fundraising, that's what really makes what they do so important, because you don't charge tuition.
Right. I think where the fundraising comes in is the gaps that could exist. So a couple examples that I can give is, for one, we have enrollers as part of our clinic. So if somebody comes and they don't have insurance, we have people on staff who are experts who can help with the enrollment, whether it's Child Health Plus or another kind of insurance that they could be eligible for, and we can get them enrolled. Most times that still comes with a copay. And we have some people that we're providing services for that can't meet that copay. So then we still continue to provide those services for them. And that's where the fundraising in terms of the extra dollars that we can pull from to really still operationally be sustainable is what becomes so critical.
It sounds like it's a balance. It's kind of a juggling act, isn't it? In order to find that funding, it really does come from multiple sources.
It does. And I think another good example to kind of follow up with what Christina was saying is when you look at our clinic, we opened the clinic in 2016. And we opened it, we had two clinicians on staff. Since then, we have expanded. We're about to start our fourth expansion, because we made a commitment to our community that we were going to help people within 24 hours and that we wanted to be able to provide that service. And every time that we have gotten near capacity on that, we are expanding. So if you think about that, we've only had that open less than 4 years, and we are already in our fourth expansion now.
Yeah, we serve about 900 clients right now.
900. And that number, I would imagine, continues to increase, doesn't it, with each passing year?
It does, yeah. And it's not tripled over this last year and a half.
Wow.
And the hardest part about that, though, is every time we expand, it's an expense, and that is not covered by any insurance or anything else. We have to come up with those dollars for expansion. So we're talking about whether it's getting some new supplies for a new location, training staff, hiring staff, paying staff while they're in training. All of those pieces cost money, and that is something that we have to go out and we have to raise those funds so that in a few months we're able to meet those needs of our community that we promised we would be there for.
Gerianne, in terms of annual giving or even individual donors, what's that pitch that you can make to them to let them know just how important they are to the success of your agency?
I think every single person has something that they can give because everybody has some sort of connection to the Villa. We all know somebody who has struggled with mental health issues or has struggled with substance use or is struggling in school and really needs some of that extra help in school to get through. Teenagers today with some of the anxiety that they have to deal with. Our school may be the only place that they're going to graduate from. Everybody knows somebody who can benefit from our services, and that's why we want to be here, and we need everybody's help so that we can provide that for everyone.
I think one of the things that's great, too, is there's a lot of different ways people can help, and one of the great ways that you can start is go to your website, villaofhope.org. Looks like there's a ton of information there, and you make it really easy for someone to find something that they can do to help you.
Yes, we do, and I think if you were to also go on using your cell phone, we actually make it one of the first things that pops up when you get to our website is either I need help or donate. In other words, I can help. Because we really think those are the two reasons people come to our website. Either they can help or they need help. So, and we can also have people call the Villa, and I'll have that 800 number in just a moment for us because it's one of our newer ways of taking in clients as well. So, but yes, if you go to our website, you can sign up to be a volunteer. You can also make a donation to our annual fund. You can learn about our gala. You can learn about the different programs and services that we offer. Many, many ways that people can support the Villa.
Well, and Christina, too, from your perspective, I mean, every little bit helps, but major donations, that annual giving, that certainly does make an impact. And I would imagine that's a big part of your day, along with Gerianne, is getting in front of those community leaders and showing them how they can really make that difference.
Yes, that piece is huge, and I think we're going to talk on one of the next shows. We're gearing up for a pretty large PR awareness campaign, just for all the reasons that you and I just talked about on this call, is that the community doesn't know how the Villa has transformed and what the programs and services are and our expertise is today versus what it was before. And we have a couple capital projects that we're going to be doing at the same time here on our campus that are some state-funded projects. It's another expansion for our behavioral health clinic and also detox beds, which could be a whole other segment, right, of what we could talk about with the opioid epidemic in our community. But never do any of these end up covering all the expenses that need to come with it. And so that annual giving becomes so critically important to our ability to continue to provide those services at the highest quality level and continue to put in the performance improvement pieces and the data analytics so that we can get better and better and better. Those are really critical components to us and why the annual giving becomes so important.
Well, Gerianne, I've always done, anytime I do one of these shows, I always, unfortunately, kind of let it slip that I'm not a big fan of social media because I have kids. And so therefore, who does like social media then? But I think in your case, I would imagine that social media, you've really had to maybe grow to love it, right? Because it is a very helpful tool.
I will admit that. I've been in this line of work for a long time, and social media is something that has kind of grown up in the last few years. So, yes, adapting to it has been one of the joyous challenges of my work. But yes, we have, a good presence on social media, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. We really want to be sure that we are out there in a way we can connect with people in our community. I can share as a mother who grew up about a mile from the Villa, and I live a mile from the Villa. When my son was struggling in high school, I did not know that the Villa had changed their programs and could have helped him. And so one of the reasons I came to Villa was that, how dare I live so close and not understand everything that was happening here as a parent. And so we really needed to make sure that we're getting the word out there. So social media has been a huge, huge asset for us. It allows people to connect with us and to communicate directly with us, and gives them some of that safety of being behind the keyboard but asking some really key questions so we can help guide them for the help they're looking for.
And Christina, that really is a great point. Again, this is where social media actually can be helpful, because you're able to get the information out there. And like Gerianne said right there, there's somebody who's even plugged in and tuned into what you guys do, but yet there's always still more you can learn. And whether it's through social media or the special events that you do or any of those different special projects, that's really what it's all about, is getting the word out so that people can understand more about how important Villa of Hope is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, and that's just the various channels that we need to be able to work through, because everybody gets their information a little bit differently. And yes, I'm a fan of social media at work, and I'm not a fan of social media at home, because I know I have a 15-year-old, so I hear you.
So you know. Well, we have just a couple of minutes left in this segment. Gerianne, I'm wondering what, beyond what's happening, of course, with COVID-19, and that's right now on the top of everybody's list of things they're dealing with. But if you take that aside, what's your highest priority? What are the top things on your priority list right now that you're working on?
A couple of the biggest things that we're working on to find funding for. Number one, we're working with a lot of foundations to really try to strengthen our programs and grow our programs. One thing that I can really put out there that has been very attractive for donors and for foundations that is really growing at a rapid pace is our work-based learning program. It is a program where we're working with young people, and we're helping them, really get those skills, those life skills, how to write a resume, taking them shopping to get their interview outfits, and mock interviews. We have great partnerships with the Greece Rotary Club and with other foundations that we have people who come in and do mock interviews and have given us grants towards this. But this program is growing so fast, and we are not able to provide it to 100% of our clients yet, so we're really trying to get there. But that's going to take money to get there and a little bit of time. And so that is one of the biggest things that we are seeking funding for right now. And really what that is doing is that is helping our clients, and we also do supported employment for adults out of our clinic and our community programs. But we're helping people get back into the working world so that they can be independent. And we're finding, especially with the adults, that if somebody comes into our clinic for mental health reasons, often when they get a job, we see that their level of depression decreases greatly, and they gain a lot of confidence, and they become a lot more independent because they've got those skills and they now have the job.
Well, it certainly sounds like you've got your hands full and a lot going on, but all really great things. Chief Advancement Officer at the Villa of Hope, that's Gerianne Puskas. And thank you so much, Gerianne, for joining us on our radio program. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll give the final word to the President and CEO of the Villa of Hope, Christina Gullo. We'll come back, wrap things up next on the WYSL stations.
You're listening to Villa of Hope Radio on the WYSL stations.
Villa of Hope is here for you. Adults, youth, parents, grandparents, no matter who you are, we are here to respond to you and make connections to the services you need right now. How that help looks may be different from before, but we are committed to making sure we are giving you our best while keeping everyone as safe as possible. Let us help rebuild your resilience. Call 1-877-584-HOPE. That's 1-833-993-HOPE.
More than 20,000 watts of truth. WYSL AM 1040, FM 92.1 and 95.5 West.
Well, we wrap things up on our very first Villa of Hope radio show. We're so happy you could join us. Christina Gullo, President, CEO of Villa of Hope. That wasn't too bad, right? We got to talk about a lot of interesting things here in this hour.
No, it was very enjoyable. I'm looking forward to our future conversations.
Well, as we move along with this program, we're going to cover a lot of ground, and next time around, we're going to learn more about your community-based programs at Villa of Hope, and also talk a little bit about recruitment and retention with your Human Resources Director, which I know, Christina, that's something you and I talked about, bringing in good people and keeping them is a really high priority for you right now.
Yeah, extremely high priority. So, and hopefully as we talk about these things on the show, that it will also give others in the community some ideas that they could pick up and use in their own organizations.
Well, Christina, we appreciate you being here and continued success at Villa of Hope. Keep things moving right along during these very challenging times. But again, it's reassuring to know that Villa of Hope, which has been there since 1942, and you guys continue to do the great work that you're doing there. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got more next time around on our show, which will be Thursday, April 24th. We'll have a brand new Villa of Hope radio show, so make sure you tuned in then. Until then, this has been the Villa of Hope radio show. This is JC DeLass. Thanks very much for listening to the WYSL radio stations.
Thanks for listening to Villa of Hope Radio on the WYSL stations. Find out more at villaofhope.org.